Hello, everyone. My name is Jayla Washington, and today I'll be presenting a communication analysis based on a scene from the movie The Devil Wears Prada. This specific scene I'll be focusing on is about Andy's first day at work. The key characters involved are Andy, Miranda, and Emily. Miranda is the chief editor, Emily is the senior assistant, and Andy is the new hire. The purpose of this presentation is to be able to identify the communication techniques used throughout the scene, be able to identify or evaluate how effective or ineffective the communication was, and also find some ways to, with the conflicts shown throughout the scenes, some strategies to help improve those and help build solid communication. So here are the main characters. We have Miranda, once again, the chief editor. This is Andy, the new hire, and this is Emily, the senior assistant. This scene takes place at a runway magazine. Andy, she's a recent college graduate who has just been hired to be an assistant for Miranda, and once again, who is the chief editor. And soon as she arrives at this office, everything is chaotic and a whole bunch of tasks are just being thrown at her at once. Everybody is running around, speed walking, doing their occupation that they're set for, and everything just seems like everybody is busy and everybody has something to do. Emily, the senior assistant, she gives Andy instructions at rapid pace with little to no explanation, and Miranda, she barely speaks to Andy at all, expecting her to be able to read between the lines on the stuff that she's telling Andy to do. The main conflict in this scene is just how overwhelming the lack of clear communication is. Andy, she receives little to no guidance, no emotional support, and is left confused about exactly what her roles are and responsibilities she needs to do. So, for the communication analysis in the verbal side of communication, Miranda uses few words and she avoids giving direct instructions. Emily, she speaks rapidly and she's very snarky and sarcastic, kind of stuck up a little as well. And Andy, in contrast with those two personalities, Andy's more to herself and hesitant and super apologetic, and she often finds herself repeating things that she already said to herself, or agreeing to stuff that she doesn't fully understand that Miranda or Emily gives her a task to do. Non-verbal communication that is shown with the characters. Miranda, she maintains a very blank facial expression. She, right here, just a very blank facial expression. She rarely makes eye contact, and she always seems like she's trying to assert dominance. Emily, right here in the scene, she's giving Andy a task, once again using dismissive gestures like eye rolling or just showing how impatient she is with Andy's lack of understanding. And Andy, she is more nervous and unsure of her posture. She can constantly be seen fidgeting or having a confused facial expression. So, with this scene, there's very little active listening. Empathy is not something that's seen in a scene, and also miscommunication is the main thing that is constant in this scene. Miranda relies a lot on power, and she becomes silent when she's trying to assert her dominance. And Emily, she likes to deflect her responsibilities, especially by using sarcasm. So the communication is unsuccessful due to the lack of guidance. While tasks are getting done, the emotional and mental toll that Andy is going through is super high, and the power dynamic and emotional detachment from Miranda kind of prevents any type of productive feedback being allowed to conspire. There are several communication strategies that could have been improved, that could have improved this situation. One, active listening from Emily, which from her being able to help Andy feel more heard and guided. And also from Miranda, she can give more constructive feedback. And all of these things would have been able to help Andy gain confidence in her new role. If these techniques had been used, Andy may have felt more supported and less overwhelmed and all over the place, and been able to, with these tasks that they're giving her, been able to succeed them early on. So, for a personal reflection, the scene reminded me of my first time for microbiology. The first day of microbiology class, I could not really hear the professor too well, so I was sitting all the way in the back and I felt confused due to the unclear instructions. Even though I felt confused, I didn't ask any questions, and in the end when I got my assignment, it just made things more worse for me. Like Andy, when she first arrived at the office, she felt too nervous to ask for help with all the tasks that Emily and Miranda were giving her. And because of that, she made mistakes that could have been avoided if there had been better communication. I have learned now to ask clearer questions and speak up when something doesn't make sense. From watching this scene, I've learned that a good communication isn't something that is just helpful, it's also essential, especially for Andy. She's in this high end building where things need to be produced fast for the media, and with her having a good guidance and clear communication, that just helps things run more smoother in the end. So, in conclusion, this scene showed poor communication. It showed poor communication through the vague instructions, the sarcasm from Emily, and also the power dynamics that Miranda constantly tried to spew out. The communication in itself was ineffective, and that left Andy feeling confused. And things that could have been improved, once again, could have been active listening and also emotional intelligence. Miranda, like we said, with her facial expression, she's kind of still in her face. So showing more empathy and more emotional energy can just help somebody feel more welcoming to ask questions and not so hesitant like Andy. And that could have created a better outcome. I personally, like I said, learned the value of a clear communication, and this scene and my own experiences just help amplify my understanding on that. Effective communication builds trust, and it also reduces confusion. This helps people succeed even in high stress environments. Thank you for your time, and my name is Jayla Washington once again. Bye bye.